Hey guys, man. Oh, the smell of coffee. I smell it already. You
The
know,
best.
not just because you got a background, I got a background, but actually the smell of coffee. And that's we decided that's what we wanted to talk about today is coffee.
My addiction.
And unfortunately, there just isn't any place around town to buy a good cup of
Yeah,
coffee,
no,
is there? Oh man. There's one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one coming up on a third or fourth one.
we have so many. We've got so many. It's got to be a tough competition out there for people, you know?
And I think about it. Yeah, some of them like Starbucks. It still blows me away that they're getting $5 for a cup of coffee. I mean, I remember, we go into a diner someplace and sit down and get a cup of a nice china cup and a cup of coffee with free refills, and then the girl would say, "Yeah, that's $1."
Hey, look, I I don't know what you buy when you go to Starbucks. That's $5. Because I don't go in December. I did go twice recently because I just blew so much money in November. I'm not proud of it, but I would always get whatever I get at Starbucks. I'm like, yeah, give me an extra shot. So not always, but usually, and it's like a $7 cup. I mean, you're talking about a venti $7 drink. $7.
And I mean, I'm just a plain old American black coffee guy,
I was like,
and it's still $5. And there's more and more shops that seem to be saying, well, listen, if they can get 5, then we'll charge 4. And ours is a good deal, but we're still getting 400% profit on it.
the thing with Starbucks is, and I've said it before, they don't have good coffee. I don't care. Their actual coffee core, their Christmas blend is really good. I bought it. I'm out. It's cool. I tried it once a year. But their actual coffee is horrible. It's bitter. It's burnt. It's garbage.
Well, I think that's their claim to fame, is that people think that if I'm going to pay that much for a cup of coffee, it better taste bitter. And because then I'll just put in all kinds of,
crap.
Yeah, add sugar and creams and all kinds of stuff to it.
The thing with Starbucks is it's their drinks. It's their seasonal. It's like cocktail making. They take this base and then they add all this I don't know, foo crap to it, and it's good. Look, I like the peppermint mocha every now and then. I like those drinks, but when you're talking about coffee, and you and I, we drink a lot of coffee. To me, if you're getting down to coffee, you got to get a real good base,
And that's the other thing, going back, decades or 2 decades ago or so, coffee really was from Central and South America. They seem to be the areas of the world where the most coffee was coming from. Now you've got coffee from Africa, countries in Africa, in Europe, in Asia. I mean, remote little islands are coming out with their own coffee. And then you start with the blends of taking 30% Ethiopian and 20% Venezuelan and 25% Costa Rican and putting that together in a blend. Now, I do enjoy my coffee, but and there are some people that can take a glass of wine, and it has this flavor, and to me, a cup of coffee is a cup of coffee.
I'm bougie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm bougie when it comes to coffee. Except for like when I went to Summer Moon not too long ago. I like to get. I mean, most of the time, I like to get one of their drinks there. And Summer Moon is by far, to me, one of the best shops around. And I'm glad that they've opened up multiple locations.
Right.
It's tough to get in sometimes, because it's a small venue, but I like to try their stuff. But I've sent my mom Summer Moon actual beans because have it in Michigan, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Like just their basic, whatever. She's like, "It's second to none," and that's how I feel with coffee. Look, I can go to back in the day, we used to go to Denny's when it was 99 cents a cup, and we were like 16. We had
With
$5.
free refills.
Yeah, yeah. And we'd sit there till 3 a.m. drinking coffee. You know? And it was okay. It was good. And a good diner coffee, not burnt 7-Eleven crap, but a good diner coffee is, yes, I'm with you. But look, my buddy David, for the wedding, I was in a wedding a couple weeks ago. Yeah, 3, 4, I don't know. And I did the officiant for the wedding, which was really a cool experience. He got me this amazing coffee. I'm going to plug him. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's from Stovetop Roasters. Okay?
Dragon's Milk.
Well, yeah. So one of my favorite breweries is New Holland Brewing Company in New Holland, Michigan. All right. Hey, guys.
Right.
They teamed with Stovetop Roasters. Now, Dragon's Milk is one of their bourbon-aged beers, okay? They took this coffee, aged it in bourbon barrels, then they roasted it in small batches, and that's what you got. And I'm going to tell you right now, oh my God, the smell of it, the sweetness, and you can smell the bourbon in this coffee. And I got to tell you, with only having like 1,000 bags, this is some amazing. It's not like you're drinking whiskey. It opens up and you get the wood and the oak, and that's what I like about coffee, is that we're going into a whole new level with what we can do with coffee nowadays.
And they're and whether you do it, I mean, still the primo way to do it is to grind it fresh and all to brew
Well,
it.
I do.
I kind of take the shortcut route with the K cups, but even the K cups are starting to get a little bit better about some of these blended flavors and all. I just got one in I buy these variety packs and everything, and I got one called Jamaica Me Crazy. And you talk about a flavored coffee that's got every sip has got a different flavor in it.
Really?
You know, yeah. It's really a combination of, there's a little rum in it. And and with the coffee and some spices and all, and you wonder when you're finished, did I just drink that coffee or did I smoke it?
That's the pairing of the coffee is similar what you pair with wine or beer.
Right.
Now this is not an everyday coffee for me. Obviously it's expensive. I'm probably never going to get it again, because, well, I don't want to say never, but
right.
I won't do that every day. And I might not do that in the morning, maybe, but an evening coffee, if I used to smoke cigars, or when I used to, I would drink this and smoke a cigar to have those flavors mesh together and blend in my mouth, and it, just sit on the patio on a cool night, I could see that, and we can do that with coffee now. We can taste those different flavors. And I went to a place in Waco right here, Heritage Coffee. And I got to tell you, yeah, I wish they were up here. I would be back and forth with them and Summer Moon.
That's the thing that is amazing to me, and probably to the people that are viewing and watching the show too, is that you will go to specific coffee shops and all, just like you would go to your favorite barber or your favorite. It's like there's a technique, and you wonder, how can there be so many different techniques and so many different coffee shops? And some of them are just pure coffee shops. Others are after these blends. I've stood in line at Summer Moon, and I even stood in line at Starbucks sometimes. But people will walk up there and they say, "Yes, I would like this with this and this and this and skinny and half this and a double shot of this." They put together a cup of coffee that's got 12 or 14 different ingredients in it. And you wonder, how did you ever decide that you wanted those specific ingredients in it? Is it just all like trial and error?
Some of these Frisco moms probably went on Pinterest and found it. Oh, I need to have this. And then they go to Starbucks and like, I'd like a venti soy latte with a splash of, oh my God. It's just,
Well, I guess it must be the same thing like they're cosmopolitans or something that they drink in the evening.
it's like a bartender. I mean, I remember those days.
Yeah.
You'd have some woman who comes in who basically doesn't want to taste alcohol, but she wants a drink. Could you mix this and 5 splashes and 2.5 of this divided by 4?
Yeah, a splash. And I had a martini for the very first time last month. Went out for my birthday, and I decided I've never had a martini.
Awesome.
So, okay, first of all, you got to decide, do you want a vodka martini or a gin martini?
Dry, not dry, sweet.
Dry, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't know nothing about martinis. So what would you recommend? Now, the waiter is probably 20 years old,
11.
but he apparently knew his martinis, but then he gets to the olives. And now you got to pick out what kind of olives you want: traditional olives, anchovy olives,
Blue cheese.
yes, or I could do one of each. And I'm thinking, but people want certain flavors, and I guess I mean I understand that. Yeah, and I know that you're that way, and especially like when you get into the fall. That's when the cinnamon flavors, the pumpkin flavors, and all of those come in. Then into the spring, it's more the citrus flavors that you add to lighten it up a little.
There's right where we go, Summer Moon, and we went to Ascension. That's a great place too. I'd like to go back there and eat. There's 3 coffee shops right there on Main Street,
within a block of each other.
And I haven't been to the other 2 yet. And I got to be honest with you, I want to try them because I want to try them, but it's hard to pass up when you've got your old faithful, and that was like back in the day. I'm glad we're seeing more of the coffee shops as opposed to the cookie cutter Starbucks, the old school coffee shops. Back in the day, I used to go to this place. It was called the Cup of Joe, and it was in Novi, Michigan. And we would go there in high school and out of high school. And they had live music, they had couches outside, and we would go there every Friday night, inevitably after a football game, or we go there on a random Saturday, just hang out. It'd be me, 2 other people, 5 other people by myself, and just listen to music and just relax. And it reminded me of the old school coffee shops you see in Chicago, New York, and it was called the Cup of Joe. I actually used to go there when I got out of high school with a teacher of mine. His name was Mr. Greaves, great teacher. And we would go and discuss books. We'd go discuss a lot of the books we'd read. And then it went out of business when Starbucks came into the picture and really dominated. But I'm glad to see a resurgence of those.
Did they have up in Michigan, the Huddle House?
No,
they didn't. They had those in Indiana, in the Midwest and all, and that was like your 24-hour little diners,
really,
and all, where you could always go. Something like the Waffle House today. They're all over the country and all, but you always go in and get consistency. But it was basic stuff. But even going further back, and by the way, the coffee that I got this morning, I don't know what it is, but man, this just tastes like crap.
That's probably that poop cereal.
I don't know why, but I gotta do another pot. But back in the 60s, you brought up a point. Was there were coffee houses back in the days of Dylan and the early folk music writers, little shops where it was just all coffee, and maybe you could get a slice of pie or some cookies or something like that. And they had a little corner stage where somebody was playing music, and you'd go in there and nurse a cup of coffee for an hour or 2 and listen to good music. Or it could be a place where people would go to share their stories or poetry. Yes. And then it went into the stand-up shops that were coffee oriented before they all got liquor licenses and stuff. And I see what you're saying today is it's starting to kind of move back to that. I mean, now the big thing is the coffee shops open up, and the big sign in the window that everybody wants to see is Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I got Wi-Fi, and you walk in there and everybody's sitting at a table with a laptop and all connected and doing their work while they're drinking coffee.
When I used to work for that other, whoever they are, I used to do some writing there a lot. I would go at either Summer Moon, occasionally Starbucks. There was another place they closed. I forgot the name of them, but and I would go there with the laptop and just kind of zone out. I recently went there one day to finish some editing for a podcast just on the laptop. But I think we need to go back to that. I would love to see more live music at coffee shops. There's a place in Deep Ellum called Buzz Brews, and it's a really good coffee shop that has great music, and it's divided in half. And the other side is a bar. So you drink, or you can go to the coffee side, but it's got live music. I mean, it's Deep Ellum, so I'm not going to go down there very often, but
Right.
There's another place in Denton, and I wish I could remember the name of it. Luke and I went there just to watch some live music, and we sat up on the balcony, and I had coffee and he ate something, and we watched music, and it was just, I got to be honest with you. I drink coffee now when other people are drinking liquor, because I don't drink as much as I used to. I got a feeling like the next time my boys come over, I might be drinking a cappuccino while they're sipping on whiskey, because I just enjoy it,
Well, and I've gotten that way with coffee over water or soft drinks.
Over soft drinks, yes, you got to drink water.
I very often would like to just sit in the evening sometimes and while watching TV and brew a cup of coffee.
Yeah. And I can, the thing with me and coffee is I could do a cup at like midnight and go to bed.
Well, me too. And there's other people that say, nope, I have a couple of cups in the morning, but I can't because if I have a cup of coffee with dinner, I'll be up all night.
I know.
I've tried that. It doesn't work.
It's not cocaine.
No. I used to, I used to do that sometimes, drinking coffee in college when you were studying, because you would drink the coffee in order to stay awake. No, I could fall asleep in the middle of a textbook like that after a cup of coffee.
I remember when I was working at the club and it would be midnight, and I had one of the girls there, or multiple girls there, be like,
multiple girls.
That's a different podcast.
Right. Yeah.
I'm single now.
Let's schedule that one.
But I would have them at 12:30. They would come up to me and be like, Brandon, should I start a pot of coffee? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was going to be there till 4 a.m. before I drove home. So I would drink coffee, take some on the road, on the way home, stop at, whatever, get a cup. I mean, and it wasn't that the caffeine was going to keep me awake. It was the art of coffee. Like it's the mental, because you're starting your day usually. So it was that whole mental thing. I don't drink coffee to stay awake unless I'm doing like a couple shots of espresso or something.
Yeah. I mean, two things will grab you is the smell of coffee brewing and the smell of popcorn popping.
But you can keep the second one.
I'm just saying, I remember you could be at a hotel and somebody at the other end of the hotel could be popping popcorn and you smell it. Same thing like when that coffee, when it starts brewing in the morning, it's almost like the aroma starts to wake you up before you take the first sip.
I mean, think about it. That's why they have like coffee scented candles and all this crap, because it smells good. When I drank that Dragon's Milk coffee and I threw the grounds in the trash bag before I emptied it, I left them in my house because I was like, oh my gosh, this smells amazing. Like even the coffee grounds that were used already just sent out that aroma. I was like, I'm swimming in a whiskey barrel. This is amazing.
And they say that also what you can do with some of your coffee grounds is put it in your plants.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give Starbucks a shout out on that. They actually bag up their grounds and it's got a little thing on it and it says you can take it for free. And it says for the garden.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was cool,
And then you dig it up from the garden and you put it back in the pot and you brew another pot of coffee.
Probably tastes the same.
So, hey, all this talk, I think I'm going to go brew another pot of coffee.
Me too.
Yep, there you go. And I'll get rid of what's in this cup and go get a real cup of coffee. And we'll come back again next week, same time, same place. I don't know what we'll talk about, but check in and we'll see. Okay. Bye.